How's it going, folks? This is pretty much meant for the brand new people that are new to the world of firearms, handguns specifically. I'm just going to go over a couple things when you're first handling your handgun, just a couple things to do as far as drills. They're really simple, they're really rudimentary, but it's going to help produce a good foundation to base everything else off of. So first thing, make sure your magazines are empty and the firearm is completely empty. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you get good muscle memory as far as where your trigger finger goes when you're not actively shooting. So you see here, trigger fingers indexed along the slide like so. Whenever you are off target, whenever you are manipulating the gun, whenever you're picking up the gun, anything you do with the gun, this is how you hold it. You make sure this trigger finger is off the trigger and indexed correctly on your frame. So a good drill to help build that is to come up to a ready position, get the gun on your chosen target, finger goes to the trigger, comes back off, handgun down. Come up, trigger, off, down. And you can also come up and stay off the trigger and then come back down. So basically, when I'm on target and I'm ready to shoot, fingers on the trigger. When I come back to any ready position, now I'm back to my trigger finger being indexed along the frame. So that's a big safety thing. It's one of the main things I think you should develop because this will carry on to all firearms. If you're doing this with a handgun, this will carry over into rifles, shotguns, and what have you. It's very, very important. Take your time, really pay attention to how you're indexing. Don't worry about going fast. None of these drills should be done quickly. This is, again, we're trying to build a good foundation and you want to take your time building that foundation. So next thing, once you've got that down, you can go into trigger manipulations, which you come up on target, finger on the trigger, nice steady squeeze on an empty gun, of course. And then finger back off the trigger, back to a ready position. Now granted, when you do this, you're going to have to cycle the slide about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch to get the trigger to reset. You can use snap caps, or you could just have an empty gun like I do right here. Either way will work. And then press back out on target, nice steady squeeze, finger off the trigger, index along the frame, then back to a ready position. Again, very rudimentary, very simple. Go slow. There is no need to go fast. Now, another drill you can do. This will get you used to reloading. This, go slow. And you don't need 2 magazines to do this either. So what you're going to do is take a position on target, your trigger finger indexed along the frame, come back to a 45-degree position. My elbow is down against my side. The gun is facing 45 degrees up. And to know if you're doing it right, you're almost looking through the trigger guard right there, just like so, and looking past the gun. You'll still be able to see right past it through the trigger guard. So from here, hand goes down here to the base plate of your magazine, depress the magazine release, and pull the magazine out. Notice how I'm holding the magazine. What this does is it gives me a good index. This is how you correctly hold a magazine. In the palm of your hand, fingers wrapped around, index finger right across the front of the magazine. Now the reason I'm doing that is I come in, again, grab. Now I have the magazine in my hand. Now all I have to do is look at my magazine well, reinsert the magazine. My hand rotates back to its proper position, then I press out again. Come back, just like that. Go nice and slow. Nice and slow and easy. That's all you have to do. If you're still having some motor skill issues, then don't worry about pressing back out. Just hold the gun right here and practice this. Just like so. And there's a reason I'm doing this. And the reason I'm doing this is because you're building a base when it comes to magazines. Yeah, you can always drop magazines free, you can do fast reloads, But this helps because later on, as you get more proficient with this gun and you start dealing with malfunctions, you see how fast I just went? And I did multiple manipulations with the magazine. So you're starting a base. So everything is nice and slow. Come in, grab the magazine. It's indexed correctly. Look for that magazine well. Find it with your eyes. Even if you have to go this slow to figure everything out, do it. It's better to have 50 very slow repetitions versus 500 not so good, too fast repetitions, if you know what I mean. So that's a good way to start with manipulating the magazine. Another drill to do with the gun in this position is reaching over the top of the slide, wrapping my hand around over the slide serrations, forcing all the way to the back until it stops, and then letting go. Keep doing that over and over. This is practicing manipulating the slide. You want to feel what a correct slide manipulation looks like. The reason being is sometimes people get too excited and they don't manipulate the slide all the way to the rear and they short stroke the gun. And it results in a malfunction or just the gun not feeding the next round from the loaded magazine. So back all the way, let go. Practice that. If you have some hand strength issues, the gun can come down like so. Hand goes over the top and you punch out with your strong hand. Just like so. This helps people that may have some issues with finger strength, upper body strength, and whatnot. Just depends on the type of gun. This is a SIG P320, so this is a really easy gun to manipulate. So keep it simple. Hand over the top, just like so. The reason I say is this is because this is more of a basic motor function. It doesn't require a lot of different finesse like you see some people doing this or all kinds of weird crap. Just keep it simple. All right. You can practice magazine changes from slide lock. I recommend getting snap caps. Those are inert bullets that you can use. Do not use live ammunition when you're practicing this, but you can use snap caps, and you can go through, if you have another magazine, you can kind of go through the whole process of reloading a gun. So you start off on target, the gun is empty. Trigger finger, again, that trigger finger indexes along the frame, gun comes back to a 45. You grab your spare magazine, just like I told you before, push the magazine release, your magazine should drop free. Most handguns, they drop free. If not, what you'll have to do is if your magazine doesn't drop free, like on some older Glocks, and there's some models that they don't drop free, come back, again, grab, strip, here's your old magazine, let it fall, grab your new magazine, insert into the gun. Your thumb on most striker fired. On this one, here's my slide release right here. You can engage the slide release, rotate right back onto target. Trigger finger still indexed on the frame. So anyway, excuse my dogs. So there is some basic drills right there that you can do. Just make sure to be safe while you do them. And feel free to leave comments and all that good stuff, and then let me know how it goes.